Hi, my name is Cullen, and ever since I was a little boy, I always knew I wanted to become a musician.
Haha, just kidding. You just got pranked. Got. Hi, I'm Cooper, and the guy you just saw you might know as Cullen, my older brother who also attended the Western Band program and happens to be the man that ruined my life. Other than my one estranged uncle who almost won an Indigenous Blues Awards in 2015 and Hannah Montana, he's actually the only reason that I ever got into music, although I should probably accredit all of my musical success directly to Hannah Montana. See, when Cullen was a little boy and before I was even born yet, he picked up a ukulele on a trip to Hawaii and decided he wanted to play music forever. The decision has impacted literally everything I've ever done, and my parents put us both into a private school with a pretty good music program, and then piano lessons when I was 5. I didn't get great at piano right away because we stopped in the same year because my piano teacher did die of a brain hemorrhage, but I still enjoyed music. My parents kept raising my brother and I in a musical environment, and I actually did really enjoy music on my own, and I got a pretty good ear for it. I was absolutely obsessed with every musical that Disney put out, and my parents tell me that I refused to watch any show without absolute bangers in it. And I specifically remembered that when I was 8, I heard Für Elise on an episode of Arthur and recreated it on the piano that same night. And then about 5 years later, I found out that I had played it exactly right. I know. You may think I'm a god for doing that, but I just have, decent pitch accuracy. That was a C. I'm good. Now, I did the typical recorder and, mild percussion, which was really just xylophone thing in elementary, and I was really excited to enter the band program, which in my elementary school was the 5th grade. I wound up picking the flute as my main instrument, despite having wanted to play the trumpet or clarinet, because my parents made a deal with my brother that they would buy him a new flute, a brand new flute for high school, if I just took his old crappy one. Now, I'm a nice person, so I took the offer, and I still play on this little piece of garbage today. I'm so sorry for saying those things to you. I promise I will never say it again. I'm not gonna lie, my first couple months of playing the flute were, bad. Very bad. Very, very, very bad. But, what do you expect? It's a hard instrument. I was 10, and I didn't really want to be playing it, so I didn't care. I genuinely thought that I had to move my hands along the instrument as I played it, and I will never forget the look of awe on my first band teacher's face as I asked him how I would play the flute like that. He absolutely thought I was insane. Just gone out of my mind. Now, that being said, I am pretty proud of how far I've come as an instrumentalist. I mean, my proudest moments include successfully playing Puchta without killing myself and developing my tone, which clinicians, get this, have called sparkly and satisfying. And I kind of get it, because when I play, it feels like I'm writing with a really good pencil. And I like that. I especially love playing in my lower register because it's so scratchy and vibrato-y, and to be honest, it's the only reason I practiced for my solo project this year. I'm also still pretty proud of that one solo that I got to do in grade 9, which I don't have footage of because my parents didn't come to my concerts growing up. Oh my god, my voice is cracking. This is sad. Now that we're on the sad note, though, I think it's a pretty good time for... So, what impact do you think growing up in music had on your mental health? Well, I guess that since I kind of grew up in the shadow of my brother, I felt like the only way to get love from my parents is through music, because that's how he did it. And don't get me wrong, I love music, but sometimes my motivation for playing would be kind of off. How so? Well, in junior high, I participated in everything music related that I could, and I practiced every night for fun. But somewhere around the grade 11 mark, the only reason I was playing anymore, I think, was because it was to meet up to my parents' expectation. Because they wanted me to do what my brother did, and even if it took a huge toll on my mental health and my personal life. So, did you ever want to quit? Oh, for sure. I mean, in grade 11, everyone that I knew, including the vice principal, told me that it would be best for me to not be in band. Right, so what made you keep going through these hard times? I guess I was inspired by my older brother a lot, because I I always looked up to him even though we weren't really close. And when I was in grade 8 and I got to watch him walk the stage at the Jack Singer concert hall with the red rose on his chest, he was embodying everything I wanted to be. So I kind of kept going to chase that moment of fulfillment I could tell he had. It wasn't the same, but we're not the same, so doesn't matter. About halfway through grade 11, I had this little epiphany that I was doing band for all of the wrong reasons. And through that, I kind of realized that I shouldn't do anything that I don't want to do. Which sounds really selfish, but I promise I can explain. I learned that I shouldn't work hard to satisfy someone else's expectations of myself if I don't agree with those expectations. I figured that if the only reason that I'm doing something is to satisfy someone else's needs, then I should probably reevaluate why I'm doing it, especially if it doesn't make me happy. So I started to apply this concept to me playing, and I actually kind of ironically started to enjoy it more. It was a pretty tough lesson to learn, but definitely the most important one, because I did learn that the only reason I should be applying myself to anything is because I care about it and because it makes me happy. And if there's any other reason that makes me horribly depressed like it did in grade 11, then it shouldn't matter. Through the band program, I also learned a lot about discipline and determination. And I know you've definitely heard it a million times, but waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning was hell. Oh my god. But once I started doing it for the right reasons, it actually became a lot more fun. Discipline is actually not about forcing yourself to do tasks that you don't want to do. It's instead doing things that you need to do to accomplish something that you want to do. So like, if you dropped me off at a military school, I would definitely not become disciplined, and I would just scream and cry and probably sue you. But through this band program, I actually did become disciplined. No suing involved there. Now that's a pretty cool life skill that is going to impact me for the rest of my life, because now I have the motivation to do things like work out and study and practice everything that I want to get good at, which is a pretty useful skill in this endless capitalist abyss we've been born into. Now that I am doing band because I enjoy it, this past year has actually been pretty good, pretty fun. Not much I'd change. But if I were to change something, I'd probably go back to grade 10 and recreate that good motivation from the start. I don't really have a lot of distinct memories from the band program, but one of my favorite ones has definitely been these past few months where I've gotten to listen to my friends' solo performances, because every time I watch them I get to look at them and then reflect on all of the time that we spent together, and it makes me feel really proud to look at them and the musicians that they've become. It's heartwarming. I don't know. Now next year, while I do really want to continue playing and teaching, I'm not going to be participating in any type of concert band. I'm going to Quebec. I'm going to have a lot of angry French people on my plate, and I just can't deal with that. I also really want to work on my ability in other instruments that I've been practicing for the past forever and a half. I just want to become more musically versatile, and my next goal is actually to become that guy that just picks up random guitars he finds in public and starts playing Wonderwall to show off. I also really want to diversify my musical abilities by learning about music production, which is really just garage band. I've always dabbled in songwriting in an edgy teenage girl kind of way, so it would be really cool to make anything that I've made, which is pretty crap, but anything that I've made listenable. Definitely don't ever expect to see me at the Grammys, but I wanted to give it a shot, see if I can become the next Black Bear. What? I'm going to McGill next year to study psychology, so maybe I can just give myself therapy for the past 3 years of trauma I've gotten, But no matter where I take myself, I will always be grateful for the skills that the Western band has brought me, and grateful that it has helped make me into the young woman that I am today. Did I get all that down? Good. All jokes aside, I have made a lot of friends and become significantly less shy than I was when I started, and I hope that I can keep that fun momentum going to Quebec, where French people will yell at me about eating baguettes wrong, or bagels? Whatever. Mr. Hagen, I know I've had my difficulties in the past, but thank you for providing me with an environment where I could make friends and feel safe. Band has really been a safe place for me, and providing me with that community is, I think, the best thing you could have ever done for me. Thank you for giving me a place to feel at ease these past few years. It does actually mean a lot more to me than I act like it does, so thanks a lot. Now with all that said and done, thank you for listening. What's this? A guitar?